First, how are you?
I'm good. 24 minutes
Okay.
ago was better.
Now, breaking news. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I just saw on Twitter as I was reading the comment by Sean, um, Robert Taylor gets traded to Austin FC for 700K in general allocation money. Um,
Peanuts.
can't say I'm surprised, or there was an inclination that maybe he may be traded given to the reduction in his role and not really playing a lot this season. But it hurts. A player who really gave a lot to the club, had some great moments, including last year when at Vancouver, our next opponent, he had a great goal in that game in a 2-1 win.
Yes.
Um, Outstanding professional. Declined invites to the Finland camp multiple times to stay with Inter Miami to help them during the season.
Yes.
Really had a breakout season in that Leagues Cup run when Messi arrived. Totally different player. A player that was needed on his team for his speed, his ability to take on players with the ball. So I wish him nothing but the best, and it hurts to see him go.
Wait. We have two international spots. Is that accurate?
We have one. We acquired one earlier, and we still have one. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see
Anything? Anything to
what's gonna
this
happen.
Kevin De Bruyne rumors?
I don't know how he fits the team, but I'd rather a winger if we're being honest. That's it. I mean, I don't know how much fire that has to it. That the Kevin De Bruyne rumors. I know they're out there. Um, if he wants to stay in Europe and play, he can stay in Europe and play. If he wants, I don't think Saudi's an option for him. I think it's somewhere in Europe or he's coming to the
No,
MLS.
I don't think. I don't think Saudi is where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Okay, breaking news at the beginning of the show. It's almost like it was tailor made for us to discuss. But before we finish that discussion, let's go ahead and get into um, the Columbus game. Uh, what used to be, what was the name before? It's got a weird name now, but Dog Pound, basically, where the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns play.
Didn't they play
To
in
a
Cincinnati?
tune, huh?
I thought they played where the Bengals played.
No, it was the Browns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the Browns. To the tune of I think it was 68,000 something.
60,000 plus. So
Yeah, I think it set the mark for. Oh my God, yes, it was Paul Brown
Paul
Stadium.
Brown.
Thank you so much. Yes, and now it's got some corporate name.
Mm-hmm.
But biggest crowd
For a non-football
watching
event,
MLS
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, biggest crowd for a non-football event, non-American football event. So
and given given that Inter Miami usually plays home games everywhere they go, this was not it.
Columbus had a big traveling group.
Yes.
They're well traveling uh, fans, supporters. They were going to show up for this game, especially given it was Inter Miami. It was the game of the week. Some say, hyped it up more than it was just, the battle for the East lead, this and
Mm-hmm.
that. So it was really hyped up. The game was not, didn't live up to that for Inter Miami expectations in the terms of the way we played. But we'll dive into that now.
Yeah. And kudos to our fans because I think Southern Legion was out there. I don't know if any other supporter groups, but I know I did see on Twitter that Southern Legion was out there with a big contingent. And every time they showed the fans, you saw Messi, Argentina jerseys and Inter Miami jerseys everywhere. So although it wasn't a home game, we did have a good showing for the game. But tell us, what do you have at the beginning of the game, before the game, lineups? What did you think?
I mean, lineup wise, I thought we were going to try to put our strongest lineup out there in some fashion. But with resting Falcon, no Allen got a start. Jello starts at right back, Yannick Brading, Busquets in the midfield, and Kremaski, Allende, Suarez, and Messi up top. Not a lot of rotation, something I wasn't planning on this game. And then the game starts, and it's kind of an open game.
Before the game starts, were you surprised to see Suarez starting up top?
No.
No?
I think at this point I'm ever going to be surprised seeing Suarez start.
We talked about last week about him visibly needing a breather. You can tell that he was.
It could be this Dallas game coming up after the Vancouver game, given it's 3 days in between our next home leg against Vancouver here at Chase Stadium. So that game may be a full rotational, but I can't really say yes with a definite, with 100% certainty, given Mascherano's, reasoning behind certain, we want to win every game, we want to go all every game and do all that. So I don't know.
And I will ask you, I feel like I ask you this question every week. And every week you tell me, not really, not really. Is Mascherano falling into the Tata rut where
he's stubborn to rotate?
Yes.
He, like, early in the season, he's very stubborn to rotate. That could take a toll on this team later in the season.
That's why I'm asking.
Winning and just going all out, trying to win every game now, instead of, there were some games you're able to rotate, and you have 6 games in 3 weeks coming up right now. So I can't stress enough. I don't think the Inter Miami community can stress enough how much they want to see rotation with, letting other players play, letting Fafa get minutes. Alan Obando was brought in for to sit on the bench? No, bring him in, let him get minutes. Leo Alfonso, let him get minutes. Put Ian Frey back in the lineup
as well.
Baltasar Rodriguez, but he has a muscle injury. He picked up a hamstring injury, so he's out. He's not even playing tomorrow. He didn't make the trip. So
I guess when it rains, it pours.
It does. It does.
This is a good analysis. This is a good analogy. It does feel that way.
I don't know why he feels like that, or I don't know what added on pressure there is, but it's right. Their focus should be the CCC with the MLS. You have enough talent to win MLS games against the competition that's being put out there. Dallas, they brought in Luciano Acosta from Cincinnati. You're able to beat that team if you play some of the other guys. You have faith in them, have confidence in them, and trust in your team that was built to be the deepest team in the league.
Do you feel that, to Sean's point, feels like he's coaching for his life? Do you think that's more of a reflection of the team's expectation in terms of success this season, or do you feel it's a reflection of maybe he is on a 1-year tryout basis despite whatever contract they've given him? Or is it Inter Miami, kind of how the Heat needed to win a championship for the LeBron experiment?
Mm-hmm.
Does Inter Miami have to win
an
MLS trophy for the Messi experiment?
Yeah, they have to win a trophy for the Messi era to be satisfied, to be something that was good. And the Leagues Cup and Supporter Shield really don't do it for me and a lot of people. You want to win the league, you want to win a bigger win the league, win the big trophy.
Do you think that's the added pressure?
So there's probably that added pressure and that mentality, and that's why they want to go, gung ho and win every game and not drop points and things like that. But you got to look at it in the long run. The MLS doesn't end tomorrow. It's not ending in the next month. But you got to get these guys, off the pitch, getting some rest, getting fresh legs on, so they're not, beat up by the end of the year and going into these matches fresh. Granted, they had 5 games before this Vancouver game, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But then they have 3 days and another 3 days before the next 2 games. So you need to pick and choose when to play and who to play at what opportunity to get the best out of your team. Because right now, the way that Inter Miami have looked is sluggish, slow, fatigue. So
MLS, well,
I think he means MLS Cup.
The cup, the MLS
No, that's
trophy.
right. Win MLS Cup and win the CCC, the two trophies that you're in a semifinal for one, and you're the favorite to win the other. So you're the favorite for both right now, I would say.
Well, we didn't win CCC last year.
Last year, no, we got bounced
We
by
won the
Monterrey.
CCC before that, right?
We didn't win the CCC. We won the Leagues
No,
Cup.
the Leagues Cup. I'm sorry, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't won a CCC, and we haven't won the league. All we've done is the
Supporter
Leagues Cup
Shield
and the Supporter Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Does it? God, it feels like third place trophies, right?
The Supporter Shield only means something if you're able to hold home field advantage, and we didn't do that.
And not lose to Atlanta United.
Exactly.
All right. So, sorry for taking it off the rails. I guess yes, that's true. Ask
Most
Busquets
points,
that.
yeah.
But let's get into the Columbus game. Everyone, like you said, everyone expected this to be game of the week. Everyone expected this to be slobber knocker, all out. And I'll tell you this, I texted you 15, 20 minutes in and said, Columbus came to play. They are dominating Inter Miami.
They were. It was an open game, and I knew that going into this game it was going to be an open game, different from the Chicago game, because that's the style that Columbus play. So when the first 15 minutes open,
I would have traded Gressel before Taylor.
Yeah, when the first 15 minutes open, it's a lot of feeling out the game for Columbus and a lot of the possession in our own half. They're knocking on the door. They're getting crosses into the box. Arfson is taking on Cello. Cello's playing well. Messi's getting on the ball on the other end. Allende's making runs in and behind over the top. So we saw a different offensive approach from Miami. It was almost kill the game off in the first half. In terms of how we were playing over the top a lot, Jordi Alba finding Allende a lot, and then Columbus starts doing this. They start pulling our players out of position, where Lujan is basically the guy in the middle, in between Busquets and Bright and Lujan. And that triangle is Daniel Gazdag, who they just brought in from Philadelphia in a trade.
And he missed a few gimmies.
Gimmies is an understatement. A few is an understatement. In reality, before I summarize the game and the whole, Columbus should have won this easily. They hands down the better team.
4-1, 5-1.
Yeah, 100%. Thank God they didn't have Cucho Hernandez. He would have bagged a hat trick easily. So Lujan gets pulled into the middle, chasing Gazdag. Gazdag plays it to Moreira. Moreira is their center back. He was finding spaces in so far up the pitch. He was at our 18-yard box. He finds space. He plays it to Arson. He kind of takes a little skip on him, and Ustadi's able to make that save. But this was Columbus's plan all along, dragging our defenders into the midfield. They're out of their position and making runs off the back shoulders of other defenders in between Cello, in between Lujan, in between Allen, in between Alba. So it was a lot of contain. Defending in the box was big for Inter Miami. They didn't give up any penalties, which was good in that first half. But to be honest, Columbus could have had two in that first half. And then we hit on a counterattack where Luis Suarez switches the play to Cello, who finds wide open space, one-time cross into the box, and the Flying Dutchman, the Flying Argentinian, Kanamaski scores. And we're up 1-0.
The local kid.
Yeah. The homegrown.
Yes, absolutely. Key
Biscayne, baby.
Yes. So, here Sean says Farsi didn't show up to Fort Columbus. He usually does.
He's usually a very good player for them. Getting up and down the pitch. Just didn't have it. He's one of the guys that didn't have it for Columbus that day out of the other 10 that were on the field.
He says that Gazdag hit all three pieces of the woodwork, which he did.
He hit the crossbar, he hit the right post, he hit the left post.
4 or 5
and then one he just missed altogether.
And then, well, he's a Key Biscayne rat. Keys rat is completely different. You have to know what a Keys rat looks like. It's like porn. You know it when you see it. Keys rats are something special. They're something different, much different than Key Biscayne.
But that's what they call
yeah.
people from Key Biscayne. They call them key rats.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought the
Yeah.
only term
Yeah.
I've heard is, and my
Yeah.
apologies, Sean.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard it
Yeah.
referred to as from the Keys.
Yeah. So now you saw the second half, right?
Yes.
Did you see how the light switch just turned off? And we
Okay.
just
So we got this comment, and I hadn't posted it just yet. Waiting for this.
okay.
Skriller says, second half we parked the bus.
We did not cross midfield with an attack at all.
No, it was terrible.
It was 45 minutes of absorbing constant pressure and putting our back line and midfielders under duress. And my God, did they do everything in their power not to give up a goal. And Lady Luck had something to do with it. There was an aura shining down. There was a shield shining down in that goal that didn't allow them. You had timely tackles. Lujan did not have a good game by any means. He struggles against, athletic players, and that's just what's going to come down to. Was not good, but he made a tackle that was on Jason Russell Rowe that was absolutely he needed to make. If not, it's a goal. Noah Allen stood up Jason Russell Rowe in the box, didn't allow him to turn. Clearances from Falcon, clearances from Allen. So it was just, and then you see the game and you see Messi on the right side of the pitch just standing there. And I think he was very frustrated with how Inter Miami played that second half. It was a kill the game in the first half and park the bus in the second half, which I don't know what led Mascherano to do that. If it was okay, we're going to sit back, absorb, and, let them come at us. I trust our defense. I want us to save our legs for Thursday, this and that. But then now why rotate? If you're going to go into the second half like that, why not rotate?
But that's the question we asked at the very beginning.
It's the tactic is part. You sat back. You sat back. No one crossed the half circle in midfield.
Do you think it was
absorbed.
a response to the first half?
No, I don't, because I think if it's an open game in the second half, Miami can play. Maybe there's a goal for Columbus, but if we're open and playing, we probably find another goal and maybe 2-1, or you end the game at 1-1. But to sit back and there were times where it was 5 minutes of just peppering the box with crosses and with triangulation of passes between certain players and trying to get a shot off. And I know credit to the back line for really holding up and not giving one up when at times it looked like they were giving one up, or Lady Luck said, no, you're not scoring today, Columbus. I don't know. They had 3 expected goals.
Felt like 5.
Yeah. This was a game that could have gone ugly in that second half, really quickly, but somehow it didn't. I still don't know how we escaped with a win.
The one thing I do give Mascherano that Tata struggled with was he subs. As this comment states, they're not always the most logical subs, but at least he does make subs. Tata's biggest knock in game was he subbed either way too late or he didn't sub at all.
Yeah, the Segovia for Suarez sub was a straight defensive sub. I could have been okay with Obando, and there gives you height in the box to play against any set pieces, on corners especially. Gives you youth, gives you fresh legs to go chase the ball if there's a transition opportunity, which we had. Some Allende played the wrong ball or was too slow to play it to Messi or this and that. But yeah, I'm really confused as to why Obando hasn't gotten any minutes as of late. Not in the CCC games or anything like that, but
Given the point
in
that
the
we made
MLS.
earlier, where it seems like Suarez could use a breather, so it's not a forced sub. We're watching and we're seeing that, hey, Suarez could use a breather. It's almost like it's asking for that, and we're still not getting it.
And look, Suarez hasn't started the best either to this season by any means. Yes, he's had assists and it's been 9 games since he scored from the run of play. Like, get yourself some legs, a breather. Let Obando come in, eat up some minutes, chase the game, chase the ball, press him a little bit, things like that. Another guy who's fallen off the depth chart is Ian Frey.
Yes,
Lujan has logged 2 90-minute games.
yes.
And Cello's gotten back-to-back starts, and Frey has been nowhere. There was a time where he brought in Aviles as a CDM. I would have put Frey back there.
Yes, I saw that, and
Isn't you can put Ian Frey as a center defensive mid, as a 5, as a sweeper center back. He's perfectly fine playing it. He's got a better head. He plays the ball better with his feet than Toto. He's more composed in the midfield. He's not going to get pressured as Toto will. And he's played that before. So yeah, if this is a precautionary issue, then I have no problem with it. But if there's been no statement from the club, then I don't know what it is, that he's been injured or he hasn't been, or picked up an injury. So,
given the fact that you do have a slightly older club, you would think that the tactical rotations would be in order. But it feels like Mascherano's just gonna ride with them as long as he can. They'll pick up a knock. He'll sit them for a couple of weeks, and then let them fully recover, and then go at it, as opposed to prolonging a almost like load management thing.
yeah,
He would rather just burn them, rest them, burn them, rest them.
it's strange to say the least. But luckily, we escaped with a point. And even with a point, I mean, with 3 points. What am I saying? With a win is what I meant to say. Even with that, it was unconvincing by us. Has to do with a mixture of how we played that second half. Has a little bit to do with not being rotated properly and not being able to explode offensively. Hopefully, they're just gearing up for Vancouver. So yeah.
Here's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
The turf issue. Do you think we go conservative in Vancouver with a much more defensive lineup and say, if we find a goal, we find a goal, and then on the home leg kind of go all out, similar to what happened with LAFC? Or do you think that lessons learned from LAFC and the position that they were in, and you think they'll try to go out and get 2 or 3 in Vancouver in spite of turf and all of the other issues?
I think the problem with the first leg of LAFC was they played a really compact defensive line, and we just couldn't break it. I think we'll have our best lineup out on Thursday, looking for goals. This will be Messi, Suarez, Busquets' first time in Vancouver. Didn't play against them last year.
That was a scandal, right? That they had to give tickets back or whatever it was.
Something like that.
That they issued an apology or something.
So I'm expecting Cello to start at right back, Falcon and Noah Allen to start at center back, Alba at left back, Bright and Busquets, Allende, Messi, Segovia, Suarez.
So you think Suarez? Okay, so you think Suarez?
Yes. I think.
And your center back. Excuse me. Your center back pairing is
Allen and Falcon.
So no Toto this game.
No.
Okay. Okay.
You need those that one your number one line out there.
That's a good question. That's a good point.
So this is a team that Vancouver's a very good team, top in the West. Outbursted for five goals against Austin. Brian White had 4. So expect a very open game coming up.
Do you see more than 2 goals being scored tomorrow?
In total,
Mm-hmm.
I can see more than 2. Yeah, I can see a 2-1. Miami win. I can see
Okay.
3-2. I can see. Yeah, you can see goals because if we can only play that luck game so many times before a team really makes you pay. This may be the team that does it. Brian White has started on fire, and he's got all the momentum going into this game. Vancouver, the fans are going to be up for this game, so it's going to be a tough environment. But when the lights are bright, your big players show up.
See, I'm with Sean here. I think it ends 1-1. I think we
Okay.
get an away goal. I think it ends 1-1. And I
That's
think
big. You get an away goal's big.
I think they put their eggs in
On one
the
basket.
home leg basket.
So
I
then
really do.
what that's gonna mean is against Dallas, no one should play. Like no one should play.
Like Inter Miami 2 should come up and play.
Like Leo Alfonso should play. Lujan get minutes. Avilas, Drake Callender. Who else? Obando should start. All those guys.
Against Dallas, you say?
If Baltasar is healthy, get him on the pitch, get him going. Yeah.
All right. That's.
But look, Vancouver also, they have a good midfield with Vite, Berhalter, who's Sebastian
Sean
Berhalter.
has Russell packed with a passport in his hand. I mean,
He's saying Russell should start if not traded. Yeah, Santi Morales, Tyler Hall, Ryan Saylor, bring those guys in.
I don't know if I want to
Drake Callender. Give Drake Callender a start.
Did you say
Stop it! Don't do it.
Did you say
give Drake Callender a start?
Give him a start. Hold on.
I didn't.
Did you say it? Hold on.
Where is it? Going back to Vancouver.
Him?
Andres Cubas, a very good 6. It's gonna be God, I hate you. Gonna be a good matchup between Andres Cubas and Yannick Bright. Seeing how they play, if they man mark, what their defensive instructions are, how offensively high they get. And then, along with Brian White, Jaden Nelson, Ahmed, Sabi, Daniel Rios off the bench. They won't have Ryan Gold this game. They'll probably have him back for the return leg, he's probably their best player, not named Brian White right now, if he was to play. But, I mean, this is going to be one of those games that is really, really tough, man. You got good players on the Vancouver side. And we went in there last year. Campana and Taylor led us to a victory. So, and Fafa Pico, scored against us on a penalty. He's on our team this year. Hopefully he can make a difference if he gets some playing time.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, and I want the guys to chime in on this too. Progress report time.
Oh boy.
Thus far, what grade would you give Mascherano overall? I know that a lot of times he's relied on talent, not so much on tactics, and other times he has made adjustments tactically that have given great results, bared the fruit that he wanted. So overall, what grade would you give Mascherano in his inaugural season here as the Inter Miami manager?
Early report card, first quarter report card, progress
The
report.
progress report. First 9 weeks.
A B plus, I think, is fair.
Okay.
With not the rotation being the biggest factor as to why he's not an A. B plus. I think there's a lot. People will harp down a lot on the tactical aspect of it. Yes, we haven't been playing the best as of late.
Hold on, Sean, that's cheating. I need 1 letter grade. None of this tactics.
Combined.
No, 1 letter grade. See, right here. C plus. That's what Thomas is giving him.
I'm staying with a B plus.
Too early.
Has us undefeated. In the semifinal of a CCC, with home field advantage. So B plus, I think, is fair if he's able to work on the tactical aspect of the game and implementing a rotation and implementing different offensive approaches to certain defenses that we're going to face and things like that. It could bump up to an A. I think B plus is a good range. This is a C plus.
Okay, but that's rude because I hate math. Why would you bring percentage into this? I asked for letters.
It's fine. He's fine. It's fine. Where do you stand? I feel like I don't know. What is your biggest red flag, I guess, with Mascherano early on in the season?
My biggest I don't know if I have one because I've been critical of him in what I think mistakes he's made.
He's a rookie coach. We know this is going to happen.
But that's exactly why.
I said I rookie coach in a league. He's managed the national teams of
completely different. Apples and oranges. Yes. Completely different. I have been critical because I think he has made mistakes. Mm-hmm. But I also understand that point you just made. He's a rookie coach. So I'm somewhere between, and I haven't been able to make a decision. It's just been a theme for me, I guess, in the past month where I haven't been able to be decisive in anything I've done. The 2 teams that I'm going to present in a little bit took me forever. I haven't been decisive. Things outside of the show and just haven't been able to be decisive. I'm between a C plus and a B minus. I'll probably give him a B minus. Okay. Understanding he's a rookie coach, but he has left a lot to be desired. I expected more from him, mm-hmm. but I guess that's on me more than on him, given the fact that he's a rookie coach. So I'd say a B minus if I'm going to be honest, because he has gotten the results that we've expected. Sean says the red flag is, do we trust him in understanding how many? I guess that's what the rest of the season is going
to look like.
Give you the answer, yeah. Because I don't know. I know Sean doesn't know. Nobody knows. This is his first time in the MLS. And it's not like he's coached in Europe. It's not like he's coached anything aside from a national team. So
and he comes from winning. He won in Barcelona. He comes from a winning, culture or background system. So who knows? It just maybe I want to win every game. I don't care how we do it. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing what he does tactically against Vancouver. Because he's going to play all of his guys. I just want to know what he's going to do tactically to negate their strengths and put us in position where, as Thomas has put the urgency of away goals and the importance of them in a format like this.
I think one would have to be trying to eliminate Pedro Vite in the midfield. That's he likes to get on the ball really early, and so does Andres Cubas, the Paraguayan center mid, who I think Yannick Bright's gonna have the instruction to play on one of those guys and eliminate them from the game as much.
You think man marking is going to happen?
It in the midfield, it may with one of those guys. If Ahmed and Sabi get wide, they're wide players, and Brian White down the middle, Vite would likely play as an 8 to 10 type of player. Berhalter up and down, box to box. And then Kubas is their holding DM. So trying to take one of those guys out of the game, I think that's might be Yannick Bright's instruction.
Given the struggles we've seen from Suarez and different guys in terms of just normal wear and tear, tired legs, and the fact that those guys are closer to AARP than their prime. Do you expect that press that Inter Miami has had success with against Vancouver, or do you think that something like that is a recipe for disaster?
We pressed against Chicago, and they beat it multiple times. If we press like that against Vancouver, we're down 3-0 at halftime.
Even though it gave, who was it that we pressed and got a quick goal from?
Houston. That's when that was early into the season, but now with the heavier legs and guys not being rotated enough, your press isn't as engaged. You're a step too slow. Your rotation to the back of a certain midfielder is not there. Then they're able to turn, play the ball out, and you're running down the wings. And Ahmed and Sabi have the ball, and Brian White's down the middle by himself.
So you think
if you're gonna press this team, it has to be engaged from minute one, and know who to press, what center back to press, which way to force the ball to, and everybody has to be in cohesion. This has to be an almost perfect game for Inter Miami to get that point, that to get an away goal. You get an away goal, you're sitting very pretty coming back home.
Okay, so I saw Thomas say 3-2, Sean say 2-2. You said more than 2 goals.
2-1, Inter Miami. That's the most I'll probably go. Could be leaning towards a tie. Wouldn't be surprised at all. But knowing how Messi wants to grab the game by the throat at times, and it's for a trophy, and you can see the same Messi we saw against LAFC come out over there, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that Messi, that was the first time I saw Messi react that way here in MLS and with Inter Miami, despite all the success he's had here already. I never saw that Messi in the Leagues Cup run. I never saw
in the Leagues Cup run. He was
smooth.
It was silky smooth. Yeah,
right. But it wasn't.
But the press tenacity and the really tackling that happened in Atlanta. That's the first time I saw it this year, where he was really getting back and sticking some people in. The
Messi I saw against LAFC though was killer Messi.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I expect him to show up for these 2 games.
Okay. All right.
I do not want to see him Sunday. I would be so happy if the 4 from Barca don't play. If Bright doesn't play, give me Fafa, give me Gramaski, Obando up top. I don't know, Segovia down the middle.
You're staying up tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You're not?
I'm gonna try. I'm not. No, I want to watch the game. I'm going to try.
I'm 100. Of course, I'm staying up. What is this? I stayed up to watch them lose 1-0 against LAFC.
I failed. I tried, and I woke up.
I have, I love, these late night games. They're just, anything can happen.
Yeah, if I may try to when I come home. Oh no, I can't. The draft is tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I may have to coffee it up.
Do it
at night and pay for it on Friday.
Do it.
But I'm going to try. All right. Well, this is the second week that we are going to show the 2 teams that we create, the best 11 in our opinion and our favorite 11. And I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't want you to give me any shit for what you're about to see. Okay?
And the best 11 or your favorite 11?
I will get there when I get there. Okay? First, my best 11. And this is it right here. I have Campana and Suarez up top, with Gregory and Busquets as holding mids, and then Gomez and Messi on the wings. I have Alba. I agree with Miller, Calendar, Aviles, and Frey. I feel like for the most part we can agree on that, except for maybe you had Falcon for Aviles.
I definitely had Yannick Bright and Lewis Morgan in there. I didn't have Campana.
Okay, so a little bit of difference.
Hey man, at least get the numbers right.
Listen, the numbers, I apologize. It's been really rough at work. I wasn't able to get the numbers right. But for everybody else,
What are you doing, like a 4-2-2, like 4?
No, I
and
just
2 center.
It's a
two
really narrow
tens,
pitch. It's a 4-4-2. It's a really narrow pitch, okay?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do like a diamond in the middle with Messi at the 10, Gomez and Busquets as 8, and
I
then
could have
Gregory
done
as
a
your
4-5-1
6.
in that way, but
Not
I didn't.
a 4-1-2-1-2, a diamond in the middle.
I would have leaned more to a 4-5-1 than that one, but
4-5-1.
yeah.
Oh,
But it would have been 4, 2 holding, 2 regular midfielders, CAM, and then 2 up top. And then the one up top. Right? Did I get that right?
Who are you putting up as your cam? Campana?
No, listen. I said I would, but I went with a 4-4-2.
Oh,
Don't do this to me right now. Because I start seeing shapes and I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. No.
All right.
4-4-2 right here.
Okay. Campana is an interesting one. I didn't know you were going to put him.
Yeah. I just think he brings too much to the table if he got minutes. I just don't understand why we were always trying to replace him, and I will never understand that. Even when he was playing well, we were always trying to replace him, and I don't know why.
Okay.
And then here we go with my favorite 11.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have a fun time with this one. Holy.
Yes.
Roman Torres.
Yes. Listen, he looked like the fucking Hulk. Okay, that's what I want all my center backs to look like. I want them to look like they're gonna beat the shit out of you in a bar fight. I loved he was ass because he was past his prime. But that's what I want everybody to look like.
I think he was coming off an MLS Cup or an ACL tear. I can't remember what Seattle.
And he wore the short shorts. And how am I not gonna say no to the short shorts?
He had an afro too.
No. He had it all.
Yeah.
Except the whole defending part, but he had it all. I love Toto. I think he is everything I hate, which I love, because he's got a short fuse. A love-hate relationship. I absolutely loved Yedlin from his U.S. men's national team. Thank you. But the one part that I did not want you to give me shit for
what?
Is old number 1.
Nick Marsman?
Yes. How can I not love a ginger?
He wasn't ginger.
He was
blonde hair. He's like Bruno. He wasn't redhead.
He was not. Listen. I don't care that he wasn't a ginger. I just loved Nick Marsman.
He has blonde hair.
Whatever. Who cares? It wasn't black, and I loved it every second of it.
I respected him. He had a. He was.
I'm not saying he's better than Calendar, as we know.
No, I'm not. Okay.
No,
I'm not.
This is what I believe, but I can't not go with him. It was just.
Fair enough. You could have put Clement Diop in. You could have put Clement Diop in there.
You want to know who I loved? Why I loved Marsman? These were the times where, thank you. You see, it had a little bit in there. What's this guy name? Is it
Robles?
No. The announcer. He was the Miami
Ray Hudson.
Fusion.
Ray Hudson.
Who was the announcer when they were on CBS? What? He might have been our only Dutch player. Think so.
I'm thinking. Miami Fusion. Who's the Miami Fusion?
Oh my God! What? He used to be coach, I think.
Ray Hudson.
Yes.
I said it 3 times.
I'm sorry. Yes, his announcing of the games and the way he described Nick Marsman, I was like, bro, inject that into my veins. It was amazing. So Nick Marsman is 100% my favorite goalie.
Okay.
I just listen. If I'm walking in a dark alley and I have $1 million with me in cash in my pockets, I want Gregory and Torres walking next to me together because they're gonna look for people to fight. They're not even gonna protect me from anything. They're just gonna look at people wrong and try to fight them. So that's why I love Gregory. I think he is just. I feel like Gregory, given enough time, would have drop kicked somebody on the field. Given enough time, Busquets for me is the ultimate orchestrator, the ultimate just conductor. He is class personified in that CDM, and then Morgan and Taylor. Although I feel like I should trade Taylor too.
Who are you gonna put there?
I don't know. Leave this spot open. Just trade him.
Indiana Vasilev's not a bad shout.
No, but I guess I could have put the guy that I always wanted to see and never got to see.
Who?
Matias Pellegrini.
He was your favorite? You put him in your favorite?
Oh,
didn't you tell me Blaise Matuidi was one of your favorite players?
No, that was in jest. That was the most. You need to work on picking up sarcasm with that one. No,
I know, man. I'm joking.
I thought we were going to be the most Argentinian great team ever with Pellegrini, Carranza, who the 2 center backs,
Figalen.
Yes, I got
to get rid of this picture.
Do you? I feel like he's going to become our next...
everyone that look. Where's this other guy? Arsenal legend Kieran Gibbs.
Is he an Arsenal legend?
Yeah, he is.
What is it? The Trinidad and Tobago All-Star?
Who?
Jovan Jones?
Oh, Jovan Jones. Another Seattle Sounder. Christian Makoun. Kevin Lerdam.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm going to start naming random players now. Will Trapp was our captain. The Joker.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to be...
Scored our first goal ever at DC. Wearing those all white kits.
Listen, I thought he was going to be our Wade. I thought he was going to go up into the rafters. I thought...
You were wrong, buddy. Nico Stefanelli. Remember him? Quarantine Jean.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
The Frenchman.
And what's the other one? The other Brazilian in the midfield.
Jean Mota. Oh, that guy had a leg on him for free kicks. Always hit the wall or hit the post. Never went in.
So yeah, this is my favorite. Just I'll throw this team into a bar fight before I put them on the pitch.
Now, if you're gonna put you can slide out Aviles to the right back position and put Figal or LGP in there, and you will have a 4-man tag team for whatever bar fight you're going to.
Listen, if I'm gonna do that, forget Shea, forget Yedlin.
You're gonna get Robbie Robinson, who just retired.
No, you see, I wouldn't put Robbie Robinson on this team. I just put his hamstring on there.
He body slammed someone in the U.S. Open Cup one year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, but no, I just put his hamstring as a player on the field. Nothing else, just his hamstring. That's another person that I thought was going to be scoring goals. And
I mean, but he was never healthy. He never got healthy. ACL, hamstring injury, just never really. He had the talent. I felt like to be something, but just couldn't stay healthy.
that was a game I thought we were going to win. Where he first tore his ACL. Was it against DC United? Robbie Robinson, the first injury.
I don't remember when he first tore his ACL.
I think it was against DC United, and my boy Roman Torres did some stupid shit, and I think gave up a penalty, and we ended up losing or something.
Uh,
I know Pizarro scored a goal early in that game.
he was the first one to score for us.
I think that was the game.
Yeah, we were playing away. I know that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in DC. Yeah. Listen, I remember a lot of useless facts about.
I mean, yeah, that one right there really. The game that Robbie Robinson tore. I mean, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, bro, I thought he was going to be good, and boy, was I wrong.
First round pick might have been the first overall pick from Clemson.
I mean, I saw him score so many goals there, and then he flew to Chile and was like, "Yeah, this shit ain't for me," and flew right back.
It is what it is.
But yeah,
no Gonzalo Higuain.
Listen, I would go to games, and I would make moo sounds because he was a fucking cow. He was a fat cow who all he did was complain to his teammates, and they would serve him balls, and his fat ass couldn't get there.
But then that second half when we got
not the second half.
When we got Alejandro,
second season.
Yes, the second half of that second season when we got Alejandro Pozuelo, that guy started turning into this goal machine.
Yes, but I'll give him this. Between season 1 and season 2, he got into shape. But I was calling him a fat. I was making moo sounds in the stands. I loved Higuain as an Argentine player. I loved him. As an Inter Miami player, I despised him.
No love for Juan Agudelo, Alex Reyes. No, none of those guys.
I can put those guys on the bench, but they can't fit here.
You're gonna put Juan Agudelo on the bench.
Where does Juan Agudelo fit here?
Nowhere.
You tell me.
No, I'm nowhere. He didn't fit in for us either, so it doesn't matter.
I loved him for 6 months on the U.S. men's national team.
Did you? Did you really?
For 6 months, it looked like he was going to be. I thought, listen, if we're gonna just name our list of disappointments, Brek Shea.
Wait. Are we talking about Inter? You're talking about what? U.S. men's
national team. Brek Shea, big disappointment. Agudelo, big disappointment. I feel bad for this one because it was accident related, but Charlie Davies.
Josie Outdoor.
Who?
Josie.
I feel like Josie was.
He was another guy that
too entrenched
he couldn't get healthy.
Some disappointment.
He's gonna be healthy.
I guess.
Sean says the whole team, the whole current team.
Of what?
U.S.
The whole
men's
current
national
team of what?
The U.S. men's national team.
Oh well, yes. That's a good point. But at least, what is it? Brek Shea scored in Mexico. Charlie Davies. Listen,
didn't Michael Bradley score in Mexico? An absolute stunner, I want to say. Pretty sure he did. He might have.
I don't think that was in Mexico.
No.
I think that was at the World Cup.
Well, what?
No. Am I thinking of? Was it Benny or Stewart? Was it Phil Halbert or
Michael Bradley stunning goal against Mexico in 2017?
Okay.
From midfield. Yes, I knew.
I remember the goal. I just don't remember where it was.
Yeah.
But I have a little here in my side, a thorn. We go to Mexico, score off the bat, and we parked the bus for the rest of the game. I think we scored in like the 7th minute and then parked the bus. I was so mad. We ended up losing 2-1. I was so mad. Listen, I remember useless games, useless facts, and I apologize for that.
Oh, you're on good.
Yeah, but do you have listen, if you guys want to send in your teams, we'll put them in the graphics with your ats and your name. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or our email. Our email is on our Twitter. Send us your teams, we'll put them in here. And we'll bring you on so you can explain the logic for putting your best 11 and your favorite 11 in comparison to what we have. I want to apologize lovingly to my man for not putting him in my favorite 11, but I can't go against Marsman.
I mean, that's blasphemous.
What?
I'm sorry that you're not putting Drake Callender in your favorite.
I put him on my best 11.
Put him on your favorite. I put him on both.
I listen. I can't go against Marsman.
But you might as well put John McCarthy in your favorite 11.
Nobody like John.
He's an MLS
John McCarthy was a hated man at his dinner table.
And now look at him.
He's still a hated man.
He won the MLS Cup.
Whatever. Who cares? A broken clock is right twice a day. All right. Do you have anything else to add besides staying up tomorrow?
If you're wondering why I look so crispy and clean, I added some new things to my setup.
Yes, you finally got equipment that I had been begging for about, a year and a half now?
Yeah. Now I can watch games, stay on the Wi-Fi.
And not lag and look like you're in a 350, 360 DP.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm being watched on a Samsung on a potato. Exactly.
All right. Well, for everyone here at Kendall Sports Network, if you're interested in the NFL draft and the Dolphins, please tune in to us tomorrow. We're going to be doing a roundtable. If you want to participate in the roundtable, comment, be a part of the coverage. Please hit us up in our DMs on X, and we will send you a link to join the roundtable. But for everyone here at Kendall Sports Network, the Dolphin Chronicles tomorrow. Have a great week, everybody.
I may jump on for that. I think I might jump on for your roundtable coverage and just. It
starts at 8, and we will go through the Dolphins pick at least, and possibly the entire first round. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I'm dipping at 10:30. I'm out.
Listen, as am I, but the boys, our boy Alex and our boy Johnny should still be there.
And the Panthers play tomorrow too. Oh boy, locked and loaded. Here we go.
Yep, here we go. All right, guys. Well, for everyone here, thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week with hopefully a final to discuss. Peace, everyone.
Take it easy, boys.